In this video, we're exposing the fake natties, the fake naturals that are lying to you and are scamming you, alright? I'll give you guys signs that never failed me to help you expose those liars and those fake natties, alright? Why I'm doing this? Well, first of all, I've been training naturally for over 14 years. I stopped counting, and I don't only want to give my opinion, but I believe that people that have been training naturally for over a decade, it's one of our duties to tell other people that what we believe is achievable. A lot of people say, I don't want to be a hater, I don't want to get involved. Well, no, it is important sometimes to be a hater, because if you don't really give your opinion and you're objective about your opinion, it means that you don't take what you do seriously. All right, so it's not just about seeing it, oh, this guy is a hater, this guy is not a hater, but your opinion matters. All right, if you've been in the field for over a decade, we want to hear about what you have to say. And I've been training for over 10 years. I'm a trainer, I've done a competition, and I want to give my opinion because I know some people will benefit from it. All right, experience is always important. Take my opinion, but take many other people's opinion. All right, so let's jump straight into it. And yeah, I've said enough. Let's jump straight into it. Number one is muscle and strength gain in a very short time frame. So I always look at the time frame. If someone tells me that a year ago they never touched weight and they were super skinny, and now 1 year later they're looking to step on stage, lean and mean, vascular, looking like Arnold almost, the time frame is a little bit off. All right, so I always would look at the time frame. I ask people at the gym, how long have you been training? Oh, I've been training for 10 years. Okay, this gives me a little bit more it gives it credibility that I could believe you reached that. Hey, how long you've been training for? Oh, I've been training for a year and I'm already benching 3 plates. Naturally, whoa, a year ago you looked like this and now you're benching 3 plates. A year ago you were doing the bar on its own and now you're doing 3 plates in a year. So the time frame is very important. Muscle and strength gain. All right, someone got stronger very fast and someone got bigger very fast. All right, so I'm looking down because I got some notes. Another thing I would do is I would scroll on their Instagram. I got a lot of DMs, people telling me, is this guy natural? Is he not? I'll scroll down. That's a year ago. I don't do it anymore because I don't want anybody sending me anything regarding to that. But I used to scroll down and seeing those pics 5 years ago, and I would see the guy looking like he very skinny, and I would see the transformation. I would be a little bit suspicious. If someone 5 years ago looked still jacked, all right, and the progression was slow, all right, you could see 3 years ago he looked a little bit more muscular than 4 years ago, and then you see the progression, then you could give the person the benefit of the doubt. So the time frame, scroll down, see old pics, all right. And even the people that are genetic freaks, people say, well, what if this guy is a genetic freak and as soon as he went to the gym, his body reacted so well? Genetic freaks, you can recognize them without even training. They have a very good bone density and they are the opposite of a hard gainer. So they can gain weight easily. So a genetic freak, most likely, most often, they'll be a little bit more on the overweight side, all right, the overweight side than the very skinny side. All right, to gain muscle mass because you're gaining, so it's easy for you to also gain weight and gain fat, and you'll see their muscle density is strong and they are naturally strong. I was a cook. I used to work in a kitchen, and one of our co-workers, all right, he never stepped into the gym and he had the craziest forearms in the world. I could look at his bone density and his hand and I'm like, bro, this is insane. But it's because he did a lot of physical labor, but you could tell from the bone density. And I was like, if you go to the gym, you would kill it. And I don't even believe he cares about gym, right? So those are the people that are genetic freaks. You would look at their bone density before even starting training. It's not once you start training that your genetics magically wake up, all right? Because your genetics have been also using you walking and lifting your backpack to go to school and lifting stuff off the floor. You're still doing physical activity, so they would still benefit you in some ways, all right? You guys understand it? So that's number one. Number two, there is some signs. I'm reading my notes. There is some signs that I always look into, and one of them I would tell people, the shoulders never lie. I always like looking at the shoulders, and if someone has that 3D look shoulder, the side delt popping. So you see, this is my side delt now. I've been training, like I told you guys, for over a decade, and I don't have a crazy side delt. As naturals, it's very hard to get that 3D side delt. I've met a few naturals here in Montreal, Alex, Alpha Destiny, you guys seen him. This guy is super jacked, natural. I know for a fact he's natural. Been training for over a decade, and you can tell. Phil, PJ Coaching. I got a lot of natural bodybuilder friends, and when I see them, I'm like, man, it's crazy why all our shoulders is just doesn't have that pop to it. We don't have that 3D shoulder look just standing like this. I can do all the side raises in the world and the craziest shoulder workout, and I'm still really behind compared to some 3D look shoulders that enhanced athlete would have. All right, so I always look at the 3D shoulder look, the traps, the rear delt as well, the upper chest, the neck. A lot of times it gives it away. The fingers, some people I see their hands, I know some some enhanced lifters, and I would look at their arm and I'm like, man, your hands, their fingers are just looking so jacked, all right? Because maybe the receptors, from what I heard, the receptors of those muscles would react better. So those people would get the side delts and the rear delt blown up. So look at the shoulders, look at the traps, look at the gyno, but the gyno, I'll talk about it later. Look at the upper chest. If the upper chest is very well developed, it's another sign. And those are signs, all right? So still someone can have crazy traps and still be natural because he just does a lot of traps, all right? Someone can have a crazy neck and just be genetically gifted with a neck. But if you combine all the signs that I'm gonna say, and for all the signs you're checking the box, then it gives you a little bit more, it puts more weight on it, all right? So number three. Vascularity, big vascularity, being lean and being full at the same time. All right, so for us, a lot of natural lifters, you would realize we can get big, we can get a little bit on the bulkier side when we're bulking up, but then we lose a lot of vascularity. And then when we're trying to cut down, we might have that vascularity and we might be a little bit leaner, but we lose a lot of mass. All right, when I dieted down from my natural show, man, I looked like a shadow of myself. All right, I lost so much muscle. I would look in the mirror, yeah, I'm seeing the veins. Yeah, it's fun, but I had zero fullness, and I didn't like my shape at all. But yes, I did still see the vascularity, and I was lean, but I was not full and big at the same time. So if you see someone that has veins coming out of everywhere, he's big, vascular, lean, and big at the same time, and got that skin texture that is like that paper, what is it called? Paper film. You see the skin texture that is super, they call it D, all right? D skin. I don't want to say the word because I don't think I'm allowed to for YouTube, but the skin that is very like super slim like this, then it's a sign. The skin texture is important, guys. Look at the skin texture. My skin, I'm always comparing it to myself, but it's not because I want to make it about me, but skin of natural lifters that have been training, we kind of have a thicker skin. I mean, I don't know, I've never seen a natural that I know for a fact he's natural and he's got that just crazy, very thin skin, all right? So, the skin, the vascularity, I spoke about that. Moving on, diet and recovery. I always look at people, their diets, their lifestyle, their recovery, the way they train, their routine. All right, as a natural lifter and a lot of other naturals, I want you guys to confirm because I don't want to be delusional, but it feels like we don't have a lot of margins for error. We have to diet 100%. We have to make sure our training is good. We have to make sure we're getting our steps in. We got to make sure we're recovering. The other day someone wanted to give me a cookie and he said, don't worry, it's just a cookie. It's not gonna ruin your gains. In reality, yes, it will set me back, all right? Because I'm a natural lifter, the margins of where we can just have an extra cookie or an extra mayo or a little bit more barbecue sauce on our chicken, we just don't have it. That's just the reality. We just do not have it, all right? We do not have it. If you wanna be lean, jacked, all right, and keep improving as a natural, you got no choice but to be extremely dedicated, all right? I'm saying it a million times, to your diet, your training. I used to train with a guy at the YMCA. He was enhanced. He used to go to the McDonald's 2 streets away, eating McDonald's, and he was training fasted. The craziest pump, eating McDonald's. I didn't even know he was enhanced. And I'm like, man, how are you doing that? And then he told me that, of course, he's not natural, but that's what helps him, all right? But us naturals doing this, there's no way we can get away with it. All right, so I would look at someone's diet, training, recovery, and I would be like, if you're not even eating clean 7 days a week and you're eating McDonald's 4 days a week, and you're that lean, that jacked, and you're training fasted, and you're barely sleeping, you're sleeping 6 hours, you're partying, and you're drinking all night alcohol, and you're taking drugs, but you're still able to maintain that crazy shape, something is suspicious. All right, so this is something that I use a lot because I know how much determination I put in my diet, in my cardio, step count, in my training, that I see someone doing half of that. It's not me being, yeah, I'm a hater, you're not natural, you're enhanced, oh yeah, I'm a hater. No, but it's reasonable, all right? It's just the way it is. We have to be a little bit objective because there has to be something that is right and something that is wrong and something that works and something that doesn't work. Not everything that can work, and then we say, oh, it's just your genetics. You know what I mean? Genetics have been used like a joker card. Okay, genetics. No, man. Okay, I don't train like you, I don't eat like you, but I've got the genetics, so I'm able to do it. It's like the Uno card that helps you pass everybody and go back to your turn. You know, it's a little bit delusional. When I started training, nobody talked about genetics. We didn't even know the word genetics. All right, we didn't even know the word genetics. We just go to the gym, give it your all, and then from the games and from the gym and from this, nobody would just talk about genetics that much. Nowadays, it's like if genetics is the be all end all for everybody. All right, and when I started training, even just to be real, we used to say that people that take protein and creatine were cheaters. I started taking supplements 3 years in. All right, when I came to Canada, because I saw everybody with a shaker bottle drinking protein and drinking BCAAs and drinking pre-workout. Before that, yes, it was very hard to afford in Syria, but we used to be like, oh, look at this guy, he's drinking protein, he's most probably cheating, this is why he's got the big arms. All right, meanwhile protein is not cheating, but it's just to tell you how life changed. All right, nowadays people, if someone is starting to train, they will ask themselves what cycle they should take. It's a very different time, and it's not that long ago. All right, moving on. And if you guys want to say, is this guy, am I legit or not, to give my opinion? Well, I'm in gym most of the time, all right, most of the time, and a lot of times I see so many bodies. I mean, I love women, all right. I'm what is it called? Heterosexual, all right. But all I look at is man's bodies, so I'm becoming an expert of man bodies, and a lot of time I'm analyzing them, and it's very rare that I get fooled by someone's natty status. All right, I want you guys to understand, because I've trained for that long. I've trained into many gyms. I've been to many countries, met different people. I'm a trainer myself. I've touched muscles. All right, a lot of times training people, so I can know. Okay, so those things that I'm telling you, it's not a speculation, but it's steps that really never failed me. All right, but take that opinion and apply it for you. Moving on. Gyno, acne, the pimples, the acne, the gyno. Those are things that everybody know, the side effects from it. People will say hair loss. I lost my hair at 23. All right, so even if you're natural, you could lose your hair. All right, I know people that would say because you had high testosterone. Okay, naturally. So hair loss, it could be one, but I lost my hair. All right, I don't have the gyno, I don't have the acne. Some people can keep their hair but be enhanced. So it is a sign, but it's one of many signs. So use that. You could use my hair loss and assign it with other tips and see if I check it all. All right. Number 6 is being very strong and very aesthetic at the same time. So very strong and very lean at the same time. So when you diet down as a natural, you lose so much strength. It's crazy. All right, you start getting flat. You go to the gym. When I wanted to prep for my show, 2 weeks out of the show, I swear I went on a bench press and I had 25 pounds each side. 25 pounds each side, and I did this for 10 reps, and I was kind of screaming, and people were looking at me at the gym. Why is this guy all veiny and lean and this and that and screaming with 25 pounds? Because my strength went so low. All right, maybe I'm a little bit exaggerating because I did that exercise in the third exercise of my split, but my strength went super down. From someone who benched, let's say 2 plate, to going to benching, let's say 35 pounds each side, strength went down a lot. all right? You will not keep your strength as you're leaning down as a natural. But you would see some people, 6% body fat, abs, vein coming out of everywhere, deadlifting 5 plate and claiming natural. It's another sign that I do not buy, all right? If you get this lean, this strong, it could work, but it's because you have over 20 years of training, not even 10 years, over 20 years, because you have to be comfortable enough to be at that body fat percentage, which this alone takes so many times, and then build that strength from there. Moving on. Body fluctuation. If you see someone that was super big a year ago, and then 3 months later he gets smaller, 3 months later he gets a little bit bigger, 3 months later he gets a little bit smaller. There's a lot of body fluctuation, all right? Me, everybody knows, every time they see me, my body is a little bit constant. A lot of people that I know, Philip, Alex, those guys, you'll see them at any times, and it's sad, but sometimes we're like, our body's not even changing, all right? I'm like, I've been training for a year now that I'm super consistent, and I would see pictures of me a year ago, and I'm like, almost nothing changed. Seriously, almost nothing changed. My lifts, to be honest, most of them didn't even go up that much, all right? Some of them, I did a bit more reps. Some of them at 5 pounds. I don't even count anymore, but my body doesn't change much. I can put pictures of me a year ago and me now, and you would think it's the same day, all right? But someone that is enhanced, there's a lot of body fluctuation because they can go on cycle, off cycle, on cycle, off cycle, and it just shows that it's not constant. And when you see someone looking super good, and then you see them again, and you're like, you don't have that pop to your body anymore, and then you see it again, it gives you something to think about. And the last one, it's an important point that I want to make. It's the height and weight ratio comparison. So I'm 5'7", 170 centimeters. I was on stage. I believe I was on stage at like 150 pounds. All right, so you see how light I am, 150 pounds. On my day-to-day, I'm maybe 170, 165 to 170, all right? So let's say 170 centimeters, 170 pounds, and I'm not lean. I'm like 16 maybe now, 16% body fat, probably 15%. My point is, if you want to be lean, 10, 12% body fat, at 5'7", your peak natty would be 170 pounds. Peak natty would be the same weight to height ratio at 10% body fat, but this is peak natty. Maybe I can get there 10 years from now. Now, me, I'm like 150, 155 at 10, 12% body fat, maybe, all right? So I still have 15 more pounds to gain, all right? I don't know if I'm explaining that very well because the same height, same weight, let's say 170 centimeters, 170 pound is the peak natty that I would be able to get. I believe this ratio is a 1-to-1 ratio at around 10, 12% body fat, but this is the peak that I might get 10 years from now, all right? So ask someone's weight and height. If you see someone that is 5'7", but 200 pounds on stage, lean, six-pack, 200 pounds at 5'7", you see he's 170 centimeters, 200 pounds, super lean on stage, claiming natural. This is suspicious for me, all right? That is pretty much it for this video. I gave you guys few signs, strength, height, yes. What else? That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. Let me guys know if I missed anything, if I forgot any tip, if I forgot anything down in the comment. And use those tips, because instead of sending me people before and after, do it for yourself. Use those tips. Go see their old pic. Go see their height, their weight, see their strength, see their body fat percentage, see the signs, see the time frame in which they got that transformation. Did it take 13, 15 years, or did it take 2 years? Okay? I'll see you guys soon. And I want to say that people can say, yeah, but there's one exception. Yeah, but nature don't lie. I don't believe nature lie. I don't believe nature and God will confuse us, because I believe in God. I don't believe God is a God of confusion, but I don't believe biology will confuse you. Okay, how many times do you see people with 7 fingers? All right, how many times do you see someone with 3 eyes? You know what I mean? So I don't think it should be that confusing. You know, it shouldn't be that confusing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.